So we are going to try and explain the massive power struggle at Red Bull that is threatening to tear the whole Red Bull empire apart and take with it the Red Bull Formula 1 team. I'm here with Sam, professional karter, and we've actually got out mapped here all of the key protagonists in this Red Bull saga, including Max Verstappen, Jos Verstappen, Christian Horner, Adrian Newey, Helmut Marko, Oliver Mintzlaff, Mark Mateschitz, and Charlem Uvidia as well, if I got those pronunciations correct. And there are some massive power struggles at play. So we're going to run through, and by the end of this video, you are going to understand this sort of Game of Thrones politics at Red Bull, because it is really quite a story.
It's getting messy.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
Should we start with the owners, Sam?
Okay, so with the owners, you've got the Thai side, who are the majority owners, and you also got the Austria side, which are just slightly less. These two are linked.
Yeah, 49% on the Austrian side, 51% on the Thai side, which is, I think, Sam, you were saying that it's because actually as the Thais, you sort of had the original idea for Red Bull, and the Austrians came in to really take it global. So 49%, 51%, it could not be any closer.
Yeah, exactly.
But ultimately, the Thais sort of call it, and that's why we've seen, for example, I believe at Saudi, Mr. Uvidia was there with Christian Horner.
Yep.
So everyone is trying to keep. This is the person you want to keep on side. Whereas
he's a majority owner.
He's a majority owner. But traditionally, it was Dietmar Mateschitz on the Austrian side, who was CEO of Red Bull.
Yeah.
Who sort of was keeping everything glued together. So let's talk about the CEO now.
So you need to break it down from the drinks company to the Formula 1 team.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference here. People aren't separating them.
Yeah, there's obviously Red Bull Empire is bigger than Red Bull F1. As we come down the chain here, we start to come into the F1 world. So we have the CEO of Red Bull, who apparently there is some sort of power conflict going on here. So, I mean, that is pretty mad. And we have a sort of neutral thing going on. So this is still at play, the dynamic here. But you have, CEOs are replaceable, essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
He's sort of, no offense to Oliver, but he's sort of a pawn in this game a little bit.
He is. And then we've got over on the Thai side of it, we've got, obviously, Christian Horner is massively backed by them. So he's got the majority shareholders on his side. If you're going to have one side backing you want the guys who are the majority.
And this is what people are saying is keeping Christian Horner safe. So there are big rumours as we record this that he could be replaced imminently.
Yeah.
But at the moment, that is really keeping him there, because unfortunately on the Austrian side, we've seen this fallout here. So he's lost the support, it seems, from the Austrian side, the 49%. Now, why is that? Well, we sort of have to look at what's going on with Jos, including Max and Helmut Marko. But Jos is such an interesting protagonist here, because on the face of it, he's just Max's dad. But actually,
but deep down,
he
could be anywhere. It's
he's like a
who's
free role, yeah.
Yeah.
So he seems to be that he has sort of kind of swept up here and interfered in the relationship with Christian Horner, people are saying.
Yeah, so Jos is obviously very good friends with old Helmut here.
Go back a long
very
way.
long way. So he's friends with Helmut. And that's his link. That's the side which he's trying to back. Whereas Helmut and Christian are kind of having a falling out.
Yeah, so used to be in lockstep, but now this fracture.
It's kind of like a big, like you said, Game of Thrones big power struggle. So it's all starting to line up there with Jos being friends with Helmut. What's Jos's game plan? What's he actually trying to gain out of this? Does he want to become the new Christian Horner?
Well, who knows? I mean, we've definitely seen Max make a lot of comments saying, like, if Helmut goes, I go.
Yeah.
So we know we can draw a green sort of strong bond there. And obviously we can do one here, despite Max's childhood, having some interesting stories. But at the moment, Max is firmly sort of in this power thing, like squared away here and being actually forced away. Because if we understand there's a strong bond between Adrian Newey and Christian Horner. Christian Horner brings Adrian
but then
Newey.
A couple of years ago that cooled right down.
Yeah.
And then I think it's kind of picked back up again. So if we put the cooled down.
Yeah.
Cooled down.
We don't really know.
Yeah. Who knows? Blue means who knows.
And by the way, if you've got any thoughts, just drop them in the comments. Free comments for anyone to let us know your thoughts here. But you have these Max comments here about he's very close to Helmut Marko. If Marko goes, I go. People think that's a bit weird because Helmut Marko is like 81 years old.
Yeah.
But it's actually deeper than that when you look at the Jos connection. Where does Jos want to be? He's obviously an incredibly driven person. He had his Formula 1 career. He was renowned for being a sort of strong driver in not strong cars.
Yeah.
And now he seems to have raised Max to be this almost bionic, like impossible to be pure thoroughbred racing. Yeah, Terminator.
Terminator. So Max originally was on Christian's side at the whole start of this year, but that's kind of cooled down essentially. Like his last interviews, he wasn't against Christian, but he wasn't for him. He was just very neutral in the middle.
Non-committal.
Yeah, so he's going to go with this indecisive line.
So when you look at strong links, it's really if that link is to break, then Christian Horner he's got no one supporting him. So this is exactly why you see him wooing that side, and you see his wife as well, Jerry Horner, at the race, like strong show of like solidity and like support. The CEO of Red Bull might not be that super important. We don't know, but at the moment, and this has been reported in the Netherlands media, there seems to be a link here, which again is another link from this side. I just wonder if Jos Verstappen really wants to. There's a sort of a transfer of power that is trying to be done here, because Jos Verstappen could be here, and he can manage drivers coming through.
Yeah.
I just wonder if that's.
See, for me, I think Jos wants this job.
But surely doesn't have the experience. But you just don't know.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
But the way it's all come about. It's all obviously what's going on recently. But it all seems to be centered about getting Christian out. So who's going to replace it? Why is Jos so vocal about this?
Yeah. So many allegations made about Jos Verstappen that I'm actually not going to repeat here, because some of them like really serious allegations. But if Christian Horner does go for whatever reason, what does that do with Adrian Newey? Because he, like Lewis Hamilton, has I think made noise that he'd love to design a Ferrari. Hamilton is going there, quite an interesting opportunity. What really links him in here? Is there a strong bond between Matt Verstappen and Adrian Newey? Obviously, this is a core synergy of the success of the Red Bull Formula 1 team. Strong car, strong driver. But does it exist without that glue of Christian Horner?
Well, yeah. I mean, let's say hypothetically, helmet gets kicked out. Max is gone.
Yeah.
Newey could very well go wherever Max goes.
That's
Newey
really
designs the best cars. He wants the best drivers. Yeah. They could go together.
That's such a good point. If Christian Horner can convince the majority owners, hey, look, if we want to keep this train going, you need to get rid of these troublemakers, because what they're doing is not acceptable.
Yeah.
So we lose Helmut Marko, and by extension we lose Jos Verstappen, and by extension we lose Max Verstappen. Is this the core of the success of the Red Bull team? That's honestly pretty much a critical question. Like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have these two, or would you rather have these three?
You got the mastermind designer, and you got the mastermind driver. What can do better? Average driver, mastermind car, or average designer, mastermind driver?
That is a key question for Formula 1. Like, that's the answer to everything. It would almost be to see this happen and see this camp go. Well, where would they go?
And that's all down to him. Only he can make that decision by the looks of things.
He can make the decision as a CEO, but how on earth do you make that decision when you've got 49% saying do this, 51% saying doing that? Yeah. So until they align, then he has clear instructions. But then he's almost, it's a very difficult position for the CEO to be in here.
Yeah. I mean, these are just like a commercial link anyway, but he still needs that definition of what's going on where.
Yeah, so very interesting questions. We cover it a lot on the F1 show. If you have found this interesting, make sure to subscribe. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the comments. By the time we release this, it might all just be all over the shop.
Yeah, then all of a sudden Adrian Newey's driving.
Yeah, exactly. Matt's side of the car. We'll see. But thanks so much for joining. We'll see you next time.